Hello amigos, this is David with Raices Vivas, and this weekend we are in Sovereignty Ranch. We are in this American Regeneration event that they just had. Been meeting such an amazing people, Grassroots Carbon, Garry with Wildlife Habitat Federation, and Rebecca and Taylor are with us. So besides of meeting amazing people and seeing other practices, they're gonna show us and talk to us about their projects. They're gonna help us to, I guess, show us what is this rain simulation. So I'm gonna pass it on to them.
Hi, I'm Garry Stevens. I'm with Wildlife Habitat Federation. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization that works with land stewards throughout the state to help them plan and implement conservation plans on their properties.
I'm Taylor Coit with Grassroots Carbon. We're a grassland soil carbon project developer, so we find ranchers that want to adopt more regenerative practices, already doing some regenerative practices and want to take it one step further, and we can get them paid.
So I'm Rebecca Tasker with Grassroots Carbon, and yes, so we're really focused on helping ranchers improve their grazing and soil health practices for overall ecosystem function. And what we're looking at here are a couple of different soil samples, all from north of Hondo, just outside of San Antonio, Texas. These are all clay loam soils, and they're actually all from the same plot of land. They just have a little bit different management. So what you see here is some bare ground, very minimal leaf litter or cover, just a lot of exposed ground. Here we have what would be considered an overutilized forage. So we have a mix of KR blue stem and the yellow Indian grass, but this has been really heavily grazed. Over here we have the almost ideal scenario of the yellow Indian grass, and had it been grazed in the winter, we would have less of this oxidized, lignified grassland. So if it had been grazed at that time, we would have all green here. And then of course we have the KR blue stem here, and this is an introduced species that has naturalized. We anticipate that any of these soil samples with cover, not the bare ground, but with cover, will have better infiltration and less runoff, whereas the bare ground will be the standout with the most runoff and the least infiltration.
So that's exactly right. It's a simple mechanism. These pans actually have holes in the bottom and that funnel the infiltrated water into a container back here, and then what runs off as sheet flow over here on this. There's nothing there to slow it down, and there's no roots down into the ground. So better ecosystem health is better soil health is better ecosystem health, better human health. We've heard about phytodense nutrient levels here in some of the produce and things that we grow in cattle that we grow on these type grasses. So with that, we're going to turn this rainfall on. It's going to simulate a 1-inch rainfall over a period of time here. We're going to measure it so we'll know when we reach the 1-inch level. And we're going to show you what the effects are there of the vegetation on the ground and in the ground. The roots, the earthworms, the soil biota is all in these systems functioning. And so you'll notice that when the rain hits the bare ground, it creates a little mini explosion. And that, when it covers the ground and flows off of the ground across the slope here, it carries with it those little suspended soil particles. And sedimentation here downstream, this is the creek water that flows after a flood event, right, or a big rain. Sometimes it doesn't have to be too big of a rain to make a creek in this part of the country function like that. But that's runoff water, and with it, sediment. And sediment is the number one pollutant in the environment. That water then goes from here into this little creek down here, into the Medina River, that eventually empties out into the Gulf of Mexico. So if you've got fertilizers, pesticides, and things out there on the ground, excess cow manure, excess pig manure, anything like that is a nutrient. Or
It's going straight into our
or
waterways.
chemical goes straight into your waterway. So this is a really cool demonstration in showing the effects of the grass cover and the grass roots on the rainfall infiltration.
So what you'll notice almost immediately is that the bare ground is producing quite a bit of runoff. And you'll notice there's maybe a little bit of runoff coming off of this overutilized pasture, but let's take a special look at the clarity of that runoff. So even in an overgrazed scenario with mixed forbs and forage, you're getting a runoff, if there is any, that's clear, versus the runoff with the bare ground that is really looking like chocolate milk. And so I think we're getting to just about a 1-inch rain event here with our rain gauge. So we're going to cut the water, cut the rain. We don't want to do that very often. And we're going to do the grand reveal of the infiltration versus the runoff. So what we've got here on the predominantly introduced species KR bluestem, we've got very little runoff and quite a bit of infiltration.
You got to remember that these grasses, as tall as they are, there's about in the production on top of the ground, there's about 3 times that amount of production below ground. And so even with KR bluestem, which is a naturalized plant in this part of the world, not a totally desirable one, but it beats them chewing on the rock. Even it can produce lots and lots of roots and lots of soil cover. So that you'll see that back there in the amount of water infiltrated.
Yeah, and then in probably the starkest comparison is this is the native yellow Indian grass with almost, I've got one, perfect, with almost no runoff here. The little runoff we do have is quite clear. And then the infiltration, pretty profound compared to the bare ground. Mind you, these were all wet samples. We ran this earlier time today, but just the clarity of these two, the infiltration.
This demonstration has been done Thursday in Jordan, yesterday here, today here. This is about the 4th time, so those little plots are soaked up and they're not behaving completely normal as we would expect, but it does show in what they just showed you the difference there between the infiltration of the grass-covered plots compared to the bare ground plot.
But as a comparison, we have the natural environment around us. Yesterday, y'all were here, it was extremely wet, gushy mud all over the ground. We had rain almost all day. And already in the spots that are bare ground, we are seeing totally dried up ground. Whereas the parts that are covered in forbs, forage, grass cover, probably sitting at a lot lower temperature than this bare ground over here that's already dried up. So while our Smalley demonstration might be a little bit flawed due to the rain, the rainfall simulation over and over again, the land itself really tells the story.
So Wildlife Habitat Federation and Grassroots Carbon works hand in hand in some cases, in instances, to help landowners help the land through proper grazing management techniques, some financial incentives that Grassroots Carbon has through their carbon contracts. You want to speak on that?
Here, we'll switch over.
Oh, there's a salesman, yeah.
Yeah, so we like I said before, we reward financially ranchers that want to adopt more regenerative practices. They're already doing some and want to take it a step further. We work with them by providing grazing consulting, yearly grazing management plans. We offer pasture map free of charge for all of our ranchers in the program, which is our in-house grazing management app. It's kind of the one-stop shop for everything for ranch management. You know, the sky's the limit. You know, we use it as kind of verification and to record actual herd movements in real time. So it's a great program, and that's about.
And I would be remiss to skip over one of the main people that helped us get to have this rainfall simulator demonstration, which is Texas Grazing Lands and Jenny Pluhar. This is their lovely trailer, and in addition to Texas Grazing Lands having these type of rainfall simulator demonstration mechanics, also USDA offices have them. So if you're looking to do a rainfall simulator in your area, you can either call Texas Grazing Lands Coalition. We could hook it up at Grassroots Carbon, or get with your local USDA NRCS. And if you want to do kind of a smaller scale, you can do a demonstration of this style with simple pans you use for serving food to a community of people, just those aluminum pans. So while this is the most impressive type of scale of it, you could do a tabletop version, and no matter who the audience is, it's a real wow moment for urban and rural people.
So WHF also works with Texas Grazing Lands Coalition as well as Grassroots Carbon in doing some of their grazing management plans for them. And it's a partnership that's born out of necessity, I guess, and we're proud to be a partner. So with that, that's our demonstration.
Yeah, and I would say if you think that this doesn't apply to you in your backyard in a city, we gotta open our minds on this, because any bare ground is the enemy, whether it's urban or rural. And just having a little bit of cover in your backyard, having clover or grass or whatever has you, is better than the bare ground.
So I think with that we're gonna wrap up. But I do want to remark something, that thanks to Sovereignty Ranch that have us here in this weekend, and for many people that is not able to come to these events because they have work in the ranch, or they might don't know about these practices. This is why we do this, through education and networking and collaboration, the formation of new partnerships. This is why we do it. And then just like nature and the grass, it's all symbiotic. We help each other. We're the mycelium that is growing everywhere, so we have to help each other. And if somebody's not able to, we got you covered. So thank you, Grassroots Carbon, Rebecca, Taylor, and Garry. I appreciate it so much. I'll see you next time, and stay cool, mis amigos.